In this tutorial, let's talk about broadcasting events. When we enter values in these two text inputs and when we click on add button, we want to broadcast or dispatch an event and pass these two values from the add component, which can be used by any other component within the application as desired. So in this example, we want to dispatch the event from add component, and the list component that we will be adding would be receiving that event and adding those companies into the list component. Alright, and to do that, let's go to add component. Let's define the click event, and all the events in Angular would be wrapped within parentheses, just like that. Okay, and on click of this button, we want to call a function called onAdd. So this is a function that we shall be calling. We can pass empty parameter, or we can pass the event object with a dollar symbol, like that. Okay, in case if we want to manage any of the native event methods. So let's define this method called onAdd. We shall be receiving an event parameter. onAdd, we want to broadcast or dispatch an event from this component. To do that, we have to define, just like an input, there is an output component, and let's call it add of type event emitter. And let's import okay, and how we broadcast the event is this dot add is this particular property right here, dot emit, and we can pass the parameters just like this. Any here refers to an object type, and let's give it a name called company name. So this dot company name refers to the property that we have binded to the input, and then company description would be this dot company description, and we would then be passing this object along with the event while we emit that. Now that we are emitting add property from the add component, let's go to the main component, and this is how we get the custom event. So when user clicks on add, it will come to the main component, and we can define on add click here, and we can add the event object, and this event object would have the parameters that we pass. Okay, so let's define this function in app.component. Event. So let's just log the event on the console when the user clicks on add button. Okay, save all your files. Google. Okay, so we did not get the message. There seems to be a problem. Let's see. Oops, my bad. We had to add this here within the add component. Alright, so let's save. There you go. So we are now dispatching the values from add component to the main component. So we're dispatching the message from this component to app component. From there we can again pass on the message to the list component later on. By any chance, if you want to pass the event object as well, then what you can do is if you want to pass this event object, so you can wrap so we can pass only one object as a parameter to emit, and if we have multiple parameters to pass, we can pass all the parameters as an object, just like that. And if you have same names for the object property and object value, the shorthand for this is this. So event property will get event value and param property will get param value. So let's save this and see what value we get on the console. So here you get event object as well as your custom properties. Alright, so that's how we broadcast the message from one component, dispatch the event using output. In the next one, let's add a list component and then populate the list with the companies as and when we add. Stay tuned and subscribe. Cheers.